I was a businessman in England, and I decided to leave my corporate life and come and set up an art school. I've always wanted to be an artist, and by building this Pottery and Arts Centre, and what I really wanted to do was to create a space in which people could become creative. We're about 1 kilometre from the centre of Kinsale. We're actually overlooking the Bandon River, stunning views, and this is overlooking a little area called Ballinacurra Creek, which is where the English camped in 1601 before the Battle of Kinsale. So it's a very famous area. We have a large car park for about 12-15 cars. The gallery has been rebuilt in the last few months downstairs so that you can walk straight in from the car park. And the gallery is full of recently made ceramics by myself. We have 5 teaching rooms. The main teaching room is called the Pottery, and we can take 8 people in there at the moment. And then we have a large teaching room for another 8 people and 2 smaller rooms for 4 or 6 people each. And then a large workshop space, which we're going to be using more and more for things like yoga classes and meditation sessions. Most of the people who come to Kinsale Pottery have either heard about it through word of mouth from their friends, relatives, or they're searching online for things to do, pottery courses, that sort of thing. And kinsaleceramics.com is a very popular website, and people will find us that way. And as time has gone on, we've had a lot more people coming for a weekend break, parents getting away from their children, couples wanting to come on their own, individuals coming, and we have more and more people coming from abroad, particularly from Europe, but also now from America. And more recently, we've had tour companies bringing groups of visitors. We run individual courses, we run private parties, hen parties, corporate groups, team building, that sort of thing. A typical class would be a 3-hour session, and we might have 8 or 10 people in the room. At the moment, obviously, we're limited by COVID-19 to 8 people in the room, socially distanced. And in that 3 hours, each person would make probably 3 pieces. Those pieces would still be wet when they finish, so then they're left to dry, to be fired, to be glazed, and then they're collected a couple of weeks after the class. We do sort of children's summer camps. Typically, they would have 15 or 20 children with 1 or 2 teachers. We do 3- and 4-day summer schools, which are much more in-depth. Each person might make 10 or 15 pieces in one of those classes. And then we have quite a lot of private parties. In a typical year, 20 hen parties. Each one would be 15 or 20 hens a month or 2 before the wedding, and they would make 2 or 3 pieces each, especially everybody wants to have a go on the potter's wheel. We invite people to come, adults, teenagers and children, to come and do classes. Different age groups, different types of classes. We have people who are beginners, and we have people who come just for one class, and then we have people who want to really learn a lot about pottery or jewellery making or stained glass. In the past, if somebody came for a regular class, let's say they came once a week for a term, which is 10 classes, they would learn how to use the wheel, and that takes quite a lot of practice, maybe every week, a little bit of throwing on the wheel. They would learn sculptural techniques, and they would also learn some pot building techniques, hand building techniques. Now, some people love to make flower pots, or they like to make kitchenware, and other people like to make organic forms, sculptures and so on. So I don't dictate too much, but I will teach people all the techniques. If you're learning the wheel, you might start by making a mug, you might start by making a small bowl, and as you get more and more sophisticated, you learn to make lidded pots, teapots, sets of things the same size. We teach decorative techniques, surface decoration, something called sgraffito, which is carving into clay, burnishing, which is polishing clay. There's a whole range of techniques. And then there are about 3 or 4 basic hand building techniques which we teach in detail, and then they can be mixed and matched.